Hi and welcome to Atomic Darts. I'm your host Matthew, and on this channel we take a look at darts, darts related materials, and other items I think the darting community should know about. And today we're taking a look at Fit Flight flights and shafts by Cosmo darts. Let's get into it. Alright, so today we are taking a look at a Cosmo flight. This happens to be the Chris White special edition, special collection that Cosmo Darts has done. This is, again, is the Fit Flight flight, and we're going to be taking a look at their gear shaft. This is a fixed shaft. I'll also list out a number of the other shafts and flights that are available out there, and as we look at these today, I figured we would take a look at them on the Chris White barrel offered by Shot Darts. Alright, let's go over to the table and we'll get a close-up look at these flights. Alright, so today we are taking a look at the Fit Flight, and this happens to be the Chris White special collaboration. It is in a shape. They also come in a standard and other variations, and we'll list those up now. And also we're also using the Fit shaft gear. This is the standard poly shaft, and it is in the normal locking shaft, so it's not a spin shaft. There are other materials available, and I'll go ahead and list those out as well. And we're going to use the Chris White. List those out as well. And we're going to use the Chris White barrel. This is by Shot Darts. And go ahead and take a look at these flights. Now, I did have someone ask me to take a look at these flights specifically. I have thrown the Fit flights once previously, and that was a while back. I don't remember exactly how they felt. Let's go ahead and take a look at these and see what they're like. Open these up. So like a lot of these flights that are coming out now or have been out for a while, they're a really nice poly. This is a really nice poly. It's kind of thin. Feels almost slightly thinner than a standard shaft or flight, I should say. I mean, it feels good. It kind of feels papery. I don't know. I wonder if these break a lot. If you happen to use these flights, let me know if you're tearing them or breaking them often. It just kind of feels like that. I like the colorations, and I like the imagery that's on here for Chris White, and the shark. Of course, he's the great white shark. And so this is the flight. You go, it gives you nice, good 90-degree angles. It is, again, a plastic of some sort. It just feels really thin. One thing I like about these pre-made flights, with these nice 90-degree angles, is they normally give you a little piece in here where your point is going to kind of bounce off that or run down this smooth area, so you can get tighter groupings. You're not going to have Robin Hoods here, or if you do Robin Hood this, you're a stud, so I guess it's possible. Let's go and break out the shafts here, and again, this is just the standard poly shaft that they offer. Of course, they've got other materials. I can open this up here, available. I'll show you how this kind of connects. Wow, these are really, they don't want these stolen, that's for sure. Not breaking those out in the store. So I got one out. So that's it. I'll kind of show you how this works here. I'm going to break out the Chris White barrel. This is a really nice looking barrel by Shot Darts. There's a link for the review that I did on it, so you can kind of take a look at that. But let's take this off. We'll put our shaft on. We're just going to screw that on there. And I did happen to get a blue shaft just because that's the coloration that Chris has in his barrel. And then this flight, it's pretty simple. It just snaps in there, and you hear a little click, and it's pretty tight as it goes in. Well, I guess this does have some spin ability. It's not really going to spin. It might move a little bit on you. Now the shaft is a locking shaft, so it's not designed to spin, but I guess this would have a little bit of movement just because of how it's made. And that sits on there, and then it's pretty hard to pull off, but it just pulls off if you need to replace them, and you pop them back on. Now, my assumption, again, this is me making an assumption, that as you go through flights, you're going to end up needing to replace shafts because they're probably going to wear down as well. Let's head over to the board. I'm going to set up all these darts with this shaft and flight setup, and we will throw them, and I'll kind of give you guys a wrap up. Again, really nice setup in my opinion, just from using them. Again, I haven't done this in a while, at least use theirs. I like their little setup. There's no rings that you have to put in or anything like that. I might actually look at this setup because I'm currently using the L style, where you've got to put a little ring in, and I like them, but this is kind of neat. So let's give that a try. I just wonder if this came off a number of times, if they would get loose, but they seem to really be pretty snug. All right, let's head over to the board. So we got a close-up look here at this flight. This again is the Fit Flight by Cosmo darts, and we do have the Chris White version. I was gonna try him on the Chris White barrel. I really like his barrel. Honestly, it's too grippy for me. It hangs on my fingertips, and everything as it hits the board shoots left. So however I'm throwing it, anyway, it's just a little too grippy for me. I threw a couple of them and it just didn't look good, and I'm really not a great darts player. Again, I am the world's okayest darts player, so I went ahead and threw them on my shaft. That's all I'm saying here. But this is the flight right here. This looking flight, I like this. It you know, comes on and off pretty easy. I actually had my 5-year-old play with these for a day, just so that he could try them out, and they're 5-year-old approved. He liked them much better than his other flights. So these are 5-year-old approved, and they're pretty nice. I'm gonna go ahead and throw them now in my barrels, and we'll see what we get. Guys, remember, I'm America's okayest darts player, or the world's okayest darts player, so please don't harass too much if I suck. Just saying. And I do this different practice scheme. Today is the 7th of the month, so I will be throwing at the 7, because that's I practice kind of on the days, you know, 1 through 20. I will spend some time practicing on a particular number, and then I'll start doing other practice things. So that's where we're going to throw today. Let's do it now, and then I'll give you a final wrap up. All right, here we go. So I like to throw at triples and doubles, primarily during my practice when I'm doing a specific number. Oh, that was off. I like the flight trajectory on these. I like the look of them. They don't get out of shape. That's kind of one of the things. Oh, nice double 16. One of the things I like about these molded flights over the folded flights, which I've kind of gone away from, is just those 90-degree angles. Everything looks cleaner in the board. These do move a slight bit on that shaft there. You do get a little bit of movement. But it's not a spin shaft. It is a locking shaft, technically. Oh, 16s. Oh, well, I guess today's the 16th. Let's go one more time, and I'll kind of give you my opinion. There we go. All right, so there you have it. I threw a few of these. I've had my 5-year-old play with them. I've played with them a little bit this week in the Chris White barrel, which again, it's not a barrel for me. I like these. I just like this 90-degree angle that you get with these molded flights. The other thing I found that I like with these versus some of the other moldeds is the way that they've got this right in here designed, where it attaches to their shaft. It really is pretty smooth, and it allows you to get closer groupings for sure, and it doesn't hang up on the point. And then of course Robin Hooding. If you Robin Hood one of these, man, please send me that picture, because that's some seriously coolness. I like this flight setup, and it's not too expensive, which is really nice. These flights seem to hold up pretty well. My 5-year-old was, beating the snot out of them, to be honest, and that none of them broke or tore or bent up like some of the other flights that he has. So I like this setup. I haven't really used it in all these years that I've been playing. Not that I've been playing for a huge long time, but I've been playing for a number of years, and I've been using other things as far as flights go, a lot of traditional stuff. So I think I'm going to look into this a little bit more. I highly recommend, if you're getting into darts, and it seems like our darting world is growing drastically, and that's awesome. Thank you for those that are joining the world of darts. This is definitely a setup I would look at going with. There's a lot of different shapes and styles, designs, and of course player designs that are out there. And then the shafts, there's different styles, different makeups of different shafts to give you, slightly different feel and so forth. But I like this. Again, this is something I would look at for sure. It's really a nice thing. I'm certainly going to get a little bit more into it. I understand why I see a number of pros using the Fit Flight, especially in the soft tip world, but I'm seeing more and more steel tip guys floating over to the Fit Flight world, and now I know why. So get a set for yourself, check them out, and you'll know why as well. Thanks for watching this episode of Atomic Darts. Again, I'm your host, Matthew. Don't forget to like, share, hit the bell, all that fun stuff, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.